Olympic goal would be the fulfilment of a dream that I have had for years and years and years, and that I wake up dreaming of and I go to sleep dreaming of, and it has been my mission for the last few years to make that dream a reality.
It definitely helps to be able to have your clear goal and to think that's why I'm doing this. I'm not a complete fool. I really do there's a meaning behind it all.
The World Championship final was a fantastic race for Katherine and I, but in many ways it was just like every other race we've done. We just went out with our plan and executed it each 250 metres at a time. We were aware of what everyone else was doing and believed in ourselves that we had the strength to get to the finish line first. In many ways, winning World Championship has meant we've shown that we can do what we've always believed we could do. So nothing's changed because we always knew we were capable of doing it and that we would be able to produce it on the day.
I was lucky enough to get silver at the last Olympics, and that for me was just the most amazing experience ever. And I've only come back because I believe I could go on and get gold, and that would just be, you know, absolute dream come true. It all sounds like a cliche, but it is. You live it. It's your dream, and it's what you work for every day.
When I get up in the mornings, I think of my opponents who are getting up in the mornings, and I want to have a better day than them today, in the rain, in the winter, and I want to have a better day than them next year in Athens too.
Your ultimate would be to row for your country, and it's a privilege we get to do every day. And when we go out and do it on Athens, and you're doing it in front of millions of people around the world watching it, and you get to wear your Great Britain colours, and it's such a privilege to do it as your day job.
Being part of Team GB is another element of what makes you proud to go out there and do your best. There are different levels. I'm proud to go out for myself, I'm proud to row with Katherine, I'm proud to be part of Team GB, and next year I hope to be proud to be part of the whole Athens team that competes there. For Britain, for ourselves, all those things are motivating you out there.
It's always good to come to somewhere that's inspiring, that's a lovely setting to do what we do. There'll be months to come when the weather's horrible at home and we're out in the rain and the wind. I think also this place has a very Greek feel to it, and obviously Greece is never far from our thoughts this year.
We're not having a very good time at the moment. This is real life back again. 5 weeks ago we were on top of the world, and the challenges of the winter season and the preparations to the Olympics have already begun.
I arrived and came down with the first cold of the year. I mean, I literally had to go to bed for pretty much a day just to sleep and let my body get on with recovering. But it happens, and it's just important to rest and to make sure that my heart rate came down so that I can build up again, and I'll be training properly within a couple of days now.
Hello, here I am at Bisham Abbey, which is in the southeast of England. I'm not in Cyprus, as you can gather. The rest of the British rowing team are out in Cyprus on holiday, I like to think. I'm sure they don't like to think. I've decided not to go to Cyprus because I've had a small back injury, and they've decided to leave me here for 2 weeks for a specialist treatment. So I'm getting very good attention, which is lovely, from all the staff here at the EIS, and I've got my own physio Ashley who's looking after me and sticking needles into me, which is good, really.
You push yourself so much all the time, these things are inevitably going to happen. There's always something you can do to improve yourself, even if it isn't what you initially intended to do on the training programme.
Cath hasn't been up with the full program here, so when we miss a little bit out on the physical side, we want to make it up on the technical side. Okay, and we'll just go to arms only. That's it. I'm just feeling it down through your back there. That's it. Now let's just connect the drive and the recovery a little more through the back. That's better. Just stay set with your abs set here. What we've got is a feedback system so that we can basically let Cath know what she's doing when she's doing it. We do it in the boat, and we do it on the ergometer as well, so that we can't get as close when we get in the boat. So the session's really useful to be able to nut out that we're both talking about the same points, knowing what's going on.
Yeah, to see how much you're doing something, and again, exactly your own feedback of where your hands are can be different from what it really is, so then this should help solve the arguments.
The lie detector.
Yeah. I wasn't feeling 100% this morning, but just thought I'd see how it goes, and it was good. I think once sort of got some of the cobwebs blown out and got into it, and lots to concentrate on. It was good.
Right. Who's going down? You're going up?
I'm going up.
Well, I was just, checking out my pedal positions, and I needed to do some fine tuning and just check the distance to the ground and that sort of thing. So, yeah, first day back. I really enjoyed it. It was great to be out there pushing along, back in the group with everyone else. Here we are, it's the middle of the winter, and this is our training environment. It's completely foggy, it's freezing cold, but this is where we train, and we've been out on the water this morning and every single day. We have had some really good training camps in Cyprus and Seville, and I think we saw some sun, but at the moment it's cold stuff here in Britain.
They haven't given us long to talk, so we're going to talk very quickly, which is good because it's also freezing. Good news is I'm back in the boat, and so although it's not particularly nice being outside in this weather, it gives me a change to the gym, which is always welcome. So we're moving forward. 2004 is obviously a huge year for us, so this is a fantastically exciting time. And we can't wait to see you next month when it may be colder, but we'll be a month closer to our goal. We've got 2004, exciting year for us. It's an absolutely wonderful time. A month closer to our goal, and I can't remember what I'm saying anymore.
We're doing a short one today, just 3 laps, which will take us about 75 minutes, which is actually shorter than we've been doing all week. So we're going up 2k, back 2k, and it'll just be 3 times round, concentrating on technique, a few race bursts, and that'll be it for this first session this morning.
Training session today is quite typical for the middle of winter for us, usually grey and overcast, but we do a lot of long sessions on the water. It's mainly just going up down either in the river or out in the Eton course here. It's hard because it's not it's not at all like the racing we're used to. It's not short and sharp and fast. It's very much long and rhythmical sessions, trying to get all the basics right, all the technique right, and it does build us up for the summer. But it's hard to sort of keep in the back of your mind that this is all preparing you for racing, because racing feels a long time away at this time of year.
Are we up for this? Oh, always up for more training, more of the same. Another day closer to Athens. Keep the smiles coming. Searching for the sunshine. See you soon.
The winters are basically as hard as they could possibly be. The training is hard, the conditions are often hard, although today is pretty good. No wind, rain or snow today. So we've had it
so
easy
far,
today.
So
and they like to train us in single sculls, boats on our own. And it's hard for us because we love being in the pair, and rowing is largely a team sport, and we love rowing with, together and getting the dynamic right. But in single sculls, it's you moving the boat, so you learn most about your technique, your timing with the boat, with the water. And it's the hardest, the boat goes slowest of all the
pairs, 4 eights we have. The single scull is the slowest, so therefore it's hardest work to get round on these long endurance sessions, and it means absolute quality, and it's basically as hard as it could be.
Still with the boat speed. Good. Sitting up and slow. Then press. And just work on that timing to keep that continuous spout at the back of the boat. Around onto the feet. Good. Really feel how much onto the feet and relax you can get. Okay, that's a lot more sustainable than the last piece.
It's sort of hard to gauge yourself as you go through the winter of how fit you're feeling, how you're feeling ready for racing. But yeah, absolutely. I think previous years, I think every year we've sort of done in the last 4 years, we've felt better at this time, you know, as the years progressed. And I think again, this is, you know, I think we're in good shape now, and I think the positive thing is, you know, we still have the 8 months or so to the Olympics, and it's going to get better month to month as we go on.
I think we are in good shape, but it's very difficult mentally because we train so hard and we don't really taper because we've got no races at the moment, that it's very difficult to feel fresh. We don't have to feel fresh at the moment, and so we don't really ever feel very rested. But we've done an enormous volume of work, so we know that's in the bank, but at the moment we don't get any reward from that yet. The reward will come in a few months' time.
Not too bad. As you can tell, the water was pretty good for a January morning, and it's fairly warm. No rain is a positive. And like Cath said before, a reasonably short session for us, so a lot to hold on for that. And apparently we're sculling pretty reasonably okay, so that's about as good as it gets for this time of year. I think coaching today was reasonably positive. I mean, I got some positive comments, so that I count that as a good day.
Yep, he was definitely quite positive today. We've definitely misbehaved on other days and been told off more.
Yeah, we take each day as a compliment this time of year. So you take any positive feedback is wonderful, and you just cling to that for the next day.
It's a hard job for us, and it's a hard job for him because there's a lot of hours of training. He's got to make sure we're on the ball all the time. We've got to make sure we're getting everything right, and you know, so between us we kind of have to keep lashing the whip.
Yeah.
Lincolnshire, which is right on the end of the country and might fall off at some point, and it's really cold and it's really windy.
The first 2 kilometres of the race course is unrowable because it's got 2-foot waves, so we're all hoping that we're not going to try and do that because we'll sink before we get started. Well, we survived. They did shorten the course as expected down to 3 kilometres, or about 2.5 kilometres. So it was much more like the summer race distance for us, because we raced over 2 kilometres in the summer. So it was short and speedy with a very strong wind, which was assisting us. So the whole thing passed in a bit of a blur, which is the best way for trials to go.
Yeah, it's over. This is the last time that we'll have to do a race in single sculls, so a boat on our own. And Katherine did really well, which is good. And I did okay, so I've survived, which is the main thing. And we're looking forward to getting back in a pair, possibly in about 2 weeks, as soon as possible,
or less, yeah.
From our point of view.
Today finishes the winter assessment and the on-water part of that winter assessment. So we test the rowers individually, and that's why they were all out in single sculls. So they get to assess where they are on the water. We've got a lot of ergometer and land training assessments there, and so overall the group's in reasonably good shape to push into the spring and the summer.
We both know from these results that we're sculling well and we can move boats, and now it's putting that together into a pair that's the big thing for us. But compared to last year, I think we're where we want to be, really.
Yeah.
Well, with Cath, she's not a natural sculler, a single sculler, but she's very talented, and she finished on top of the sweep group there, and just right on the tail of the scullers, and so that's quite a good result for her, and a certain step up from where she was last year. And for Katherine, who's been out injured, of course, it's a great fourth place. Splitting up the scullers is really good, and should be very confidence boosting her as she develops from her injury.
And I wanted to prove to myself and also, to Cath and to my coach that I haven't gone behind in training and I haven't missed anything. And actually it proves that my rehab's been really successful, that I can be back here where I am. And I feel, as fit and better than I did this time last year. So that bodes really well too.
I'm disappointed not to find any excuses not to come to Boston either in December or in February.
Idiot.
It's 7:30, it's very cold, we're at Dorney Lake, ready for training.
Normally we start first thing in the water in the boat, but today we do a special session which is even worse, and it's on the rowing machine indoors. One down, two to go. We've just completed our first session of the day, which is what we call a step test. Basically, we're on the rowing machines and we do 5 or 6 steps, each one 4 minutes long, and each one getting harder and harder in intensity as we go up. And they record our heart rate and our lactate to see how we're doing physiologically.
And the reason we do this is to make sure that all the miles and miles of training we do on the water and in the gym is making us more efficient, so that when we come to racing we can get the oxygen around our blood more efficiently, and we're still in lots of pain, but we're being more efficient machines as we race this summer.
This is the boat we won the World Championships in. We're very happy to be back rowing in the pair and out of horrible sculling boats.
Ready, go. Next stroke. Go. Level weight on the feet, pressing back. Nice horizontal push back. Shoulders down, hands moving.
Huge waves over our heads, big white rollers. We were surfing.
Did around 17 kilometres this morning with our heart rates around 150, 160, and so it just helps develop their aerobic capacity, and we do a lot of work on the rhythm, because we can get a lot of the rhythm we need at racing down low, so there's a lot of focusing on that. You know, we're very specific in what we do with the training. The session that you're going to come to next, we've got Lizzie Webb down doing a bit of work, and we're really trying to work the gluteal muscles and the abdominal muscles to help them get in a better position in the boat.
So set those abs, set that hand, and away we go.
I used to put my faith in worship, but then a chance to get to heaven slim. I used to worry about the future.
Can you feel that now?
But then I threw my caution to the wind.
Gently turn it out.
Dancing, hey, nothing left for me to do but dance. All these bad times I'm going through, just dance. Hey, God can't
It was exercise.
tonight, baby.
Well, we've just gone through a whole series of ab and back exercises, really to strengthen up, particularly the trunk area, because the trunk is vital when you're rowing. Cath and Katherine, I think, find some of them quite tough, but they've been working quite hard. For example, working the lower abs, you probably saw there, actually getting the strength to lift the weight of the bottom of the legs up is quite hard. And with ankle weights, we work with 6-pound ankle weights, which adds a lot of strength to their muscles if they can really work through that. So that's the particular weak area that they're working on.
Well, you've seen our trunk stepping session with Lizzie, which we got off reasonably lightly today. Normally we have an aerobics warm-up, so I'm sorry you missed that, because that's quite entertaining. But generally the class makes us hurt in lots of unpleasant places.
We do the class about once a week, and yes, it does basically, we do it until we hurt, and everyone really looks forward to it with fear and trepidation. So it's nice to have it over for the week. I'm glad you could join us for that, and we'll see you again next month. See what we're up to then.
See you then.
Bye.
This is the first time you've seen us in the pair. Is that it?
A bit more.
I love it! What's you doing that bit? I thought you were going to say it.
Hi, we're in Harderwinkel in Belgium.
For the British rowing trials. Yes, this is a very key moment for us in our Olympic preparation and our quest for gold. Here we basically have to win in the next 2 days the semi-final and the final of the regatta to not only impress the selectors and the coaches, but also to prove ourselves the best in the country.
Winning here will mean selection to go and race at the World Cup. The first race will be in Poland, in Poznan. It should basically leave us ready to row for gold in Athens if all goes to plan as well.
You join us back now at a hotel where we're staying here while we're in Belgium. We've made it through the semi-final today reasonably comfortably, quite happy with how the racing's gone so far. Everything's geared up towards tomorrow, which is the final, which is the big day for us.
The final will determine Olympic selection, so it's absolutely crucial that we perform tomorrow and that we win and gain the place for the Olympics. There's a lot at stake, so pressure's on, but we're ready to race tomorrow and looking forward to that. It's Wednesday morning and we're just preparing for the final. We've had to wait around a bit due to fog, but it's lifted now, the sun's out and we're ready to go.
We're feeling really good. We've had a half an hour delay. It doesn't change what we do. We've got really close focus on what we're doing and we're used to being an outdoor sport and any delays in the weather. So it's not affected us at all. We're ready to race and this is the bit we love. So it's off to do the serious stuff.
Yeah, it was everything we talked about doing really. The start felt, better than yesterday, I think. The ones in the warm-up were really good as well. And felt really solid. Third 500 felt, right on it, even though we dropped the people by that point.
Yeah.
And then the rate didn't come up hugely at the end, but it felt in the water and we were still moving away, I think, even sort of last 250. So
Yeah, it felt like, I don't know, through the middle. I think the other crews did their sort of pushing through the middle bit and maybe we stuck a bit, but then we moved out again, even with the gap. So that was good.
No, I thought the best bit was you coming out of the blocks and you were challenged in that first 250 metres and were still able to come in through the transition and get into your rhythm and into your pattern, and that's what we need to take into the international racing. And from your splits, they were quite good too. You can see with your profiles here, 49.33, 56.3, 56.2, 54.4 without really nailing
so it's
it.
good. Second to third's good, but that's still quite a
so
lot,
we can still
isn't
do a little bit of work in that transition phase there.
So we've had a good final today. We won the race, we came first, which was our main objective, and we had a really strong row, which was our other objective. We came out really hard from the start. We made sure we were tough on ourselves in the middle of the race, and we lifted ourselves into the line with a really strong performance overall. So we're very happy with that.
What it means for us so far is, as far as British rowing is concerned, we're now going to be the Olympic pair, so they're going to let us go to Athens. We have to see how we perform now at the first World Cup, which will be in Poland. Obviously for us that'll be much tougher competition, so we have to make sure we don't get complacent, we don't get comfortable with today's race. It's got to be better standard, it's got to be faster, it's got to be higher. But that's really good for us now that we can look towards that and have a real goal set. So we'll see you next month.
See you then.
Bye. So we're just back from Poland, which was the first of our World Cup regattas. We managed to bring back some silverware in the shape of the silver medal. It wasn't the gold this time. We were beaten by the Romanian pair, which are the Olympic champions at the moment. But we still got some great racing in over the weekend.
So the start of the women's pairs. And away we go, and this should be absolutely fascinating. Katherine Grainger on the right there, Cath Bishop in the stroke seat for Great Britain. Here we have the Germans. They're the ones out in front by half a length over the field, with Grainger and Bishop second just. Yes, everybody really in with the chance. Maybe Belarus just trading at the moment as we go through the first quarter, but it is Germany who have the advantage. Great Britain just beginning to find their rhythm now and going with the Romanians. Cath Bishop and Cath Grainger, as we come towards the end of the third quarter now, this is where really they've got to show a little bit of power and speed here to put themselves back. It's Romania who have taken the advantage now of Germany, and they lead this women's pairs final. Here comes Cath Bishop and Cath Grainger coming through between the two, and it is Romania now being challenged by Great Britain. About half a length now as they come into the last 5 strokes of this women's pairs final, and Andrinaci and Susannu are going to get this victory here in the opening World Cup of the season from the British pair, with Germany in third place.
It was really useful, and fundamentally it was good racing, and we found out we've got good basic speed, which is the most important thing to know after our winter's training. We've still got things to do, we've got fine-tuning to do, but it's all small margins now. It's just a second behind the Romanians. We know can easily improve by that amount. We've just got to make sure we get it right in the next race in Munich.
So basically it's back to the training sessions to get all those small details right. So we're going in the water right now. Go. Done.
We've just had a long session on the water, lots of concentration for about 2 hours, working quite on a technical level at very small differences to how we move the boat, how our blades enter the water, and the timing between us, which are the small margins we need so that we can make a difference in the next race.
Every session between now and Munich, the next World Cup regatta, are going to be very, very important to us to try and get boat speed. And like Cath says, it's very small steps every day. Every session is going to count, and all the way up to Athens, to be honest, but our first focus is Munich for now.
Katherine Grainger and Cath Bishop, the world champions last year in Milan, who've made their way into this women's pair final.
This is a bit ominous for the other 3 crews who are contending for medals, to see the Romanians slipping out quite so easily in the middle part of the race.
Look at the British now. They're right in the fight here for Great Britain's first medal, and they're going away from Canada now. Great Britain in a bronze medal position. Cath Bishop has a little look. She knows what she has to do. It's on. It's possible. 120 metres to go now for the British duo. Can they overtake the tough Belarus partnership? Every stroke is getting Cath Bishop and Cath Grainger from nowhere into bronze and now into silver. They've won the argument over Belarus as we come to the line. It's Romania. Britain finishing with a flourish to take silver.
I feel absolutely exhausted at the moment, which is just as well, because we just had one heck of a race, 6 coxless pairs caning it down the lake here in Athens. It's a fantastic race to be in. We went out, we wanted the big one, we just didn't quite make it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race. It was a real pleasure to do. Disappointment, of course, that we didn't come out with the top medal, but I'm very proud of the performance we put in and what we've put in over the last few years. So it would have been wonderful to finish off the gold medal, and I still think it's something we're capable of, but got to be proud in the big day to pull out silver.